Mac Mini upgrades, chip amps, the 300B, and can you guys buy the Super Mini or the Line Forces? Yeah, we're going to tackle every single one of those questions and knock it out in today's Frequency Friday. First, a disclaimer. I'm going to be mentioning some names and some companies here on today's show. I am not affiliated with any of these companies or names. I'm not being paid to say anything. I just want to help you guys out. So that is what today's episode is all about. Let's get started with the Mac Mini upgrades. All right. Eric from DB Audio Labs is going to be the guy that you're going to talk to. I actually bought this Mac Mini many years ago when I thought about doing what it is that I'm going to be doing now. I can promise you this will be upgraded now. At the time, I abandoned ship because I thought this is silly. You want me to do what to my Mac Mini? Like I laughed, and so who's laughing now? The bottom line is this: a lot of different modifications that can be done to the Mac Mini. There are particular models that you need to consider. And Eric is going to be the guy that can actually walk you through everything that you need to know and get you hooked up. That is Eric at DB Audio Labs, and he doesn't have a website right now. I think that is pending, or he's working on that. He has been fantastic to chat with. Even though I thought he was crazy at one point, well, it turns out he's not. He's not crazy. So Mac Mini upgrades. As I do these upgrades, I will be taking you along the ride for that journey. So once I send this off and do the upgrades, we will report back and let you know how things are, working out in my system. When it came to listening to the Super Mini and the Line Force, John and I both agreed that the little chip amps that Danny made, they were unbelievable. And we are getting a lot of questions. My inbox is almost full of, where do I go to get the chip amps? Like what? You just kind of left us hanging there, bro. And I did, because it's a rather complex question to jump right into. The chip amp that we're talking about is a 7297 amp. Okay, it's a little, hold on a second. That is the chip amp that we're talking about, TDA 7297. You could go on eBay right now and you could just do a search for TDA 7297, and what you're gonna find is a whole bunch of amplifiers that are already built, mostly from China, and they're gonna be 10 bucks. And they're gonna have a cheesy little pot on there and a couple components, and you might be thinking, yeah, that's what Ron was listening to when he was at Danny's house. No, no it wasn't. I don't know exactly how Danny did his 7297, but I believe, and Danny, please correct me if I'm wrong here, I think he did buy one of those cheesy little amps on eBay or whatever, but then he stripped it and he rebuilt it using primo parts. So no, Danny's not using a $10 jobber from eBay, and that's what we were listening to. It's not the same. I will leave a link down below with Danny's Audio Circle thread where he talks about these little chip amps that he built. But there is one other person that I need to introduce you to, which is Jeremy, also known as Folsom on Audio Circle. If you've come across any kind of articles or anything on the internet that mentions Folsom's chip amp, and Jeremy is without question one of the authorities out there when it comes to these little chip amps, and that is going to be the guy that I would really recommend that you reach out to if you're thinking about doing this. He has circuit boards that are printed ready for the 7297. I believe he still has some in stock. I'm not sure, Jeremy, if you don't, I apologize, but either way, Jeremy is going to be able to move you in the right direction. He's going to be able to help you. I will leave his information down below. That covers the 7297. It is a chip amp, and you can buy these chip amps on eBay, and you can modify them if you want. That is an option. Or you can reach out to Jeremy, and I think that is a smart way to do this, especially if you have done nothing like this before. Having Jeremy to guide you is going to be in your best interest. One thing that you will discover And look, this is just the way things go when it comes to skinning the audiophile cat. There is more than one way to do it. Danny's chip amps, the 7297, are running off batteries. They are getting 12 volts from that battery. Jeremy is not going to recommend that, and that's fine. There's no right or wrong here. I think it's just differing opinions, and that's totally cool. Jeremy's going to recommend building a legitimate power supply that you plug into the wall to run that chip amp, and it's going to supply more volts. And I've talked to Jeremy about this, and he's of the opinion that that's going to wake up that chip and bring it up to its peak performance. I can't comment on that because I don't know. All I know is I heard Danny's rig with Danny's chip amps with the 12 volts, and it sounded incredible. Those little chip amps blew my mind. One thing that I should mention is if you are expecting those to shake your house apart, they're not going to do that. So we were getting up to triple-digit decibels during dynamic swings, but no more than that. We were not rocking out at concert levels by any stretch of the imagination. So understand there's only so many watts in those chip amps. They can only do so much. And if you're willing to listen at what I would say is very reasonable levels, then by all means, proceed. And that's just the reviewer coming out and me trying to be as unbiased as I can and tell you the dang truth is they're good, but they're not a miracle in a box that does everything. And, hey, Ron, I got these chip amps for these Maggies, man, and they suck. You were totally wrong. No, you're just a dodo brain. So don't be a dodo brain. Next, the 300B that I fell in love with when it came to the Audicas and the Extremes. I really want to get my grubby hands on one of these and build it myself, but I'm a little worried that I won't be able to do it. Seems a bit daunting, but I think I might actually give it a shot. It is an Elekit, that is Elekit, TU 8600 or 8600R. I'm not sure on the specific model, but I will leave the links down below. It's a 300B tube amp, and it was absolutely phenomenal. If you are moving in the direction of the Audicas or Extremes, that would be, again, me, based on what I heard, that would be the amp that I would be seriously considering. Again, Danny's is not stock kit form. Know this about Danny Richie. He is not interested in good enough. He is interested in how far can we go. So his is modified. He yanked out the cheesy volume control. He upgraded the caps. He did some modifications to his, and his is not for sale. That is what Danny did for Danny's rig. So if you decide to move in the direction of the Elekit, I don't want to set up the expectation for Danny that he's going to be able to walk you guys through step by step every little thing that he did to his. I can just give you the generics and probably the same answer that he's going to give you, which is, yeah, man, I ripped out the volume control and all those cheesy parts and I upgraded the caps. That's probably what Danny is going to tell you, and that is what I am going to tell you. So I would imagine that if you are pretty comfortable with building amplifiers and you know your way around a soldering gun, you might be able to know exactly what it is that you have to do after just a quick chat with Danny, and off you go to the races. That combo with the Audicas and the Extremes was, oh, that was something special. So I will leave links down below to the kit. Hopefully that's helpful, and off you guys go. So the last question that's come up, sound clips. And where do we go to buy the Super Mini and the Line Force speakers? How do we add those to our shopping cart and move on with our super happy audiophile lives? I wish it was that easy, but it's not. So hear me out. I do have sound clips, and I will get them out very soon, of the NX Studio. I have sound clips of the NX Audica, and I do have sound clips of the NX Stream. I do not have sound clips of the Super Mini. What? And I do not have sound clips of the Line Force.
What?
It was hard to make that decision. I'm still having a hard time with it, but after talking to Danny, it made sense to me. he can't get you these speakers. So if you heard the sound clips tonight and you're saying, I have to have that, you can't. And so it does nobody any good to hype up either of those speakers when Danny can't get one of the drivers that he needs in order to sell those speakers as a kit or as a pre-built speaker or whatever Danny decides to do with those. That ain't gonna happen until he gets that particular driver sorted out. And because of that, Danny and I had a heart-to-heart, and he's like, man, why do sound clips on speakers and get people excited about speakers that I can't even offer? And I respected that. So, sound clips will be coming very soon, but not of the Super Mini or the Line Force. I apologize. I know I'm going to get some flack for this. It is what it is. So, another Frequency Friday in the bag. I hope that this video was useful. I hope that it answers some of the questions that you guys have been asking. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Links down below. We're on Patreon. Please consider supporting us. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube community. Follow us. Hang out with us. We're posting a lot. One thing. Might be a delay in this week's Tuesday Tech Talks. Doing some R&R with the family. We're getting out of town for a little while. And yeah, it might be, what would it be? Wednesday Watts? Thursday, I'm running out of audio words. I don't even know. Anyhow, we'll see you guys in the next video.